Oh. Ow. Ow. Fuck. Fuck. Motherfucker. Oh. Hey there. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi there. Hey there. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. Or wait, this isn't the Valenti VOD. I'm a little fucked up right now because I haven't eaten anything all day and I just burnt 1,000 calories at the gym. I gotta eat something. Dead ass, B. Dead ass. Hello, turn up your mic. Copy that. Copy that. What if I turned it up there? Oh, let me also pull this a little bit closer. Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you? What's good? Are you MAGA Valenti yet? No. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm about to eat a banana. Should I, like, block the screen when I do that? Because I don't know what the fuck you guys are. You know, you guys are tweakers. Also, real quick, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do everything that you need to do. What the fuck was that? Do everything that you got to do. You probably heard that. And you know how it is. You know how it is. That's a delicious banana. We ain't doing ASMR. Get the fuck away from me. Alright, alright. YouTube trying to hide you? How the fuck can you hide me? I'm giant. I'm a big guy. I'm a pretty large guy. Bro, I've been shredding fucking weight over the past 2 weeks. Oh, so once I'm done with this banana, we're gonna check the breaking news. I'm not up to date. I was at the gym for a while. Other than the SAVE Act passing, what do we got? Let me know. Let me know, and then I'll look it up. Because the thing is, guys, Valenti Videos, this is a community. Okay? This is socialism. Okay? We work together here. And if I get to some, like, elected position, we're going to still work together. We're going to find a way. We're going to meet underneath the Brooklyn Bridge every other Friday, all right? At, like, 3 in the morning. Something like that. So, think of us as a machine, okay? Think of us as a fucking machine. You understand? Let's get the machine going. What's the breaking news? What should we call you? I mean, I could call you something, but I don't think it'd be allowed. I can't do that. How about, the rats? Yeah, you're my rats. I'm the Rat King. You're gay? Thanks, Richie. Appreciate that, brother. Eat slower. Motherfucker, I've been eating a banana for like fucking 3 minutes. Luigi, you're not getting none of the bananas. Can dogs eat banana? Because she really wants it. Can dogs eat bananas? Can they? Yes, they can. I want a little banana. You want some banana? You want some banana? Here. Here you go. All right. A little banana for the dog. Just a little bit of banana for the dog. You know how it is. A little banana for the dog. Oh, she's looking at me. She really liked that banana. What about the cat? Can the cat have banana? Cat don't want banana, right? Beans probably doesn't want banana, but he's looking at me. He's staring me down. He's looking at me in the eyes. What are you doing? You want one more little piece? Beans, come up here. You want a piece too? Beanie. Here, Beans. Beans. That's for you. And Luigi. That's for you. Eat slow. Chew it. Chew it. Chew it. Good girl. Bean. So what's up, everybody? What's the breaking news? Hit me with the breaking news. What do we got? What kind of dog is she? She's a miniature dachshund. Oh. Need help with what, Shabam? What's happening with Mahmoud Khalil? We'll find out. Oh, God, I put so much fucking lemon in this shit. It's like opaque. You see all that? That's all fucking lemon. That's all lemon. That's good for you, but fuck if it ain't sour, you know. Fuck if it ain't sour, as they say. How's the mic? Is it too loud? I'm going to crank it down just a notch. Was that too much? Did I turn it down too much? What'd I do? How about a little bit more? How about right there? Is that perfect? That may be perfect. Sister got stage 2 cancer, lost all my money, expense on the treatment, need some money. Sucks to suck, brother. I ain't gonna send you shit. I don't got money to help you out with. Start a GoFundMe. Send me the link. Start a GoFundMe. Send me the link. How was the shit? It was good. Oh, we got 2 Oklahomans in the chat. How you doing, Oklahomans? Think we're going to war with Iran? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it all depends on Pete Hegseth. I can't believe that's a sentence. Whether we go to war with Iran is up to Pete Hegseth. But you got to understand that war means a completely different thing today. You know, we've been bombing the ever-loving fuck out of the Houthis. I mean, the ever-loving fuck. And that's not war, you know, because they're a terrorist organization. There's loopholes. There's things you could do. So we've been engaging in a proxy war with Iran for like 30 years. Unironically, how you doing, Hossein Ahmad? We've kind of been in a proxy war with Iran for like 30 fucking years. You know, Iraq, Afghanistan. I understand that shit had to do with bin Laden, but at the end of the day, you know, the U.S. doesn't want Iran to become a superpower. It's because of our imperialistic actions, you know, and we definitely don't want them to get nuclear weapons, because once you have a nuclear weapon, you really have you got a seat at the table, like to negotiate, geopolitical table, you know. U.S. is a bully. I agree. J.D. Dubois with the $5. I have an idea. No matter if you are a former president running, gift a second term, there should always be a primary no matter what. There should always be a primary. I agree. There should always be a primary. That's part of the reason why I fucking couldn't understand why we had to vote for Kamala Harris. There was no primary. Although, also, guys, check out this fucking embroidered Valenti video shit. That's embroidered, dog. That's embroidered on there. That shit's gas. Watching from Bangladesh. How you doing, Bangladesh? What's your favorite type of sausage? Your father's. Turbo Wolf new merch needed? Absolutely. Just like the wolf screaming and it says Turbo Wolf. Ow. By the way, guys, I need some of you in on this. As soon as some, like, MAGA chud comes in here and brings up the words, like, alpha, beta, or sigma, I need ows in the chat. Is there a wolf emoji? Is there something, like, because they're role-playing as wolves. I need it. All right, yeah, there it is. Okay, so keep that shit on you. As soon as somebody comes in here and is like, damn, bro, you're such a beta cock. I want ows in the fucking chat, okay? Because if we're role-playing as wolves and he's the alpha, I'm the fucking turbo wolf, okay? I'm the fucking turbussy, okay? All right, so a couple of breaking news stories. Let me share my screen, let me zoom in for you, or is this, maybe it'll go too far if I zoom. Is that too far? You can't read the all the way left side, can you? Is that too far? Well, nah, you're soft, bro. Thanks, Sam. You're hard, dude. You're hard as fuck. You're hard. Bro, dude, I have a fucking wolf tattoo, bro. I'm the turbo wolf. If somebody fucking pulls that shit out... Oh, dude, I'm wearing a hoodie, so I can't, but... Oh, God, that shit's so fucking cringy. Dude, I have fucking Fenrir tattooed on my fucking right shoulder. I want the V hoodie for sure. Dude, get the one that's embroidered, dude. Check this shit out. Oh, can I get the camera real close? This shit is embroidered. It's not like a sticker. It's fucking sewn in, bro. It's actually sick as fuck. Oh, yeah, dire wolves are back, too. So wolves are in right now, bro. Wolves are in. I'm the fucking turbo wolf. Ugh. Alrighty, so, news. Judge orders detained Columbia student Mahmoud Khalil to be released. You guys fucking hear that? You guys hear that? That's crazy. We'll get that linked up. Now, here's the thing. Don't get your hopes up because Trump has already disobeyed federal judges multiple times. This is hope, though. This is a good sign. It means that Trump does not have that vice grip over the federal courts the way that he wants it. He doesn't have it quite yet. Okay? So that's good news. But don't get your hopes too high. Do not get your hopes too high. Trump's great. Also, you support terrorists? I do not support terrorists. I don't think Trump is great. Could you calm down, first of all? That's crazy. Second of all, could you just... I'm not going to give too much attention to that, but tell me one thing that Trump has done that has made your life better. Just calm down, brother. We're here. We're chatting. We're chilling. Chill. Everyone goes through that cringe wolf phase. No, but like... Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, who didn't?
Vengeful Jester, take it back. You take it back.
Oh, wait, Jack Wolf totally forgot. Mahmoud Khalil is a terrorist. That's the thing, Mario. He isn't. He's not a terrorist. Even the fucking White House themselves admitted that Mahmoud Khalil has never committed a crime. Like, and there's the thing, man. I don't support terrorists. If there's a terrorist, fucking get rid of him. But this guy's not a terrorist. This guy's just dead ass not a terrorist. What is your... amuse me. What is your proof or your evidence that this man is a terrorist? Tax breaks, I said. I agree, brother. Tax breaks, brother. Why do girls pee out their butts? Jack, put him in the corner for 60 seconds so he can think about that. He'll come to a conclusion. We don't know. He hasn't gone to court. Yeah, well, that's the thing. We're innocent until proven guilty in this fucking country. How are you going to go around labeling somebody as a fucking terrorist if they haven't even been charged in court? There's been no evidence. There's been no prosecution. There's been nothing. Yeah, how about some fucking due process, you know? So I'm right, typical lib. Dude, I just didn't know what the fuck you meant. You just said tax breaks. Yeah, I like tax breaks for, the working class, I would hope. Not for the fucking 1%. They don't need a fucking tax break. They need tax increasement. Increasement? They need their taxes fucking higher. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez Louise. If he's pro-Hamas, then get him out. Well, here's the thing. He's never been pro-Hamas. He's never stated anything about being pro-Hamas. He's pro-Palestinian. And on top of that, dude, I'm not pro-Hamas. But you do understand that even if you were pro-Hamas, you yourself, like, that's the First Amendment. You can do that. It's as long as you don't fucking act on it. You could do whatever the fuck you want. You could say it. You could say it all you want. I'm not. But if somebody fucking is, they're allowed to say that. But he also didn't say that. He's never made any claims of being pro-Hamas. Yeah, see, Christopher Brown said it best. He can be pro-Hitler. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the First Amendment, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Nazis, but they have the right to be them, at least in this country, in terms of thought. You know what I'm saying? You can't arrest somebody for thought crime. At least not yet. Trickle-down economics are proven to work. It's simple. So when he gives tax breaks or cuts to the rich, it gets to us eventually. Jack, trickle-down economics has never worked once in American history. Ever. Why don't we could get through this together. You could tell me a time period where trickle-down economics made the middle class richer, and we'll go through it. Hi, Chris, am I late? You're just a little bit late, DJ. Don't worry about it. What is the amendment? Freedom of speech. There's more to it. You want me to pull up the First Amendment?
The First Amendment to the United States Constitution guarantees 5 fundamental freedoms: religion, speech.
Can you just give me the fucking amendment? Here we go.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
There you go. All right, so let me go back. Let me read a little bit of the chat. Jack says, I don't know, but they will work. Jack, trickle-down economics has never worked because it's fundamentally relying on these billionaires and the CEOs and all of the rich people that you're talking about not being selfish. And human beings are inherently fucking greedy. I'm assuming you're a Christian. What does it say in the Bible about fucking greed? You tell me. I've read the fucking Bible many a time. What does it fucking say about greed in the Bible? I'm assuming you're Christian. Come on. Greed's bad, it's a sin. Okay, I think you're a kid. In the Bible, it says that greed is the root of all evil. Now, these billionaires, the 1%, do not give a fuck about you, dog. Why the fuck would they give you money? Tell me this. Tell me, why would a billionaire who gets tax cuts, why would he simply... Hold on. Why would he choose, he or she, or they, why would any of those billionaires choose to increase the salary of their workers? For their workers. Jack, tell me why. Why would they choose to give themselves less money and give more money to their workers? Oh, what'd I do? Sorry. Hold on. Didn't mean to do that. Shut your fucking mouth. Never fucking speak to me again. Never talk back to me. Ever. Jack. You fucking piece of shit. I pay you. I fucking pay you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You didn't even talk back. You didn't even talk back. Anyway, where'd he go? For their workers. Jack. Other Jack. Jack said more worker productivity. Okay, so let me ask you something, Jack. Why hasn't the fucking minimum wage increased since 2009? Riddle me this! Riddle me this! Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't leave me hanging here. Come on. You can do your best. Come on. Look at this. The federal minimum wage was last increased on July 24th, 2009 to $7.25 per hour. Prior to that, the federal minimum wage was $5.85. The current federal minimum wage has not changed since 2009, meaning it has not increased since 2009.
Who is a millionaire CEO who took a huge pay cut to give his workers huge bonuses and now makes equal of what his employees make? Dude is a legend. Can't remember his name.
I got no idea, Matthew Adams, but figure it out.
I'll take because they're fucking greedy for 500, Alex.
Oh, Jesus H. fucking Christ. I can't believe people actually think billionaires give a fuck about them. Well, it might rise, but Jack, can you give me, like, you're saying, yes, you are right, that increasing the pay of your workers would increase productivity. But if these people are already going to pay 0% taxes, why the fuck would they increase the pay of their workers? They've proven to be selfish. Elon Musk is nearly a fucking trillionaire, dog. He's nearly a fucking trillionaire. That motherfucker could cut you $1,000 check and it would feel like, I don't even think the calculation is that it would feel like a penny. I think it would actually feel like less than a penny. Jack, or anyone who's good at mathematics, I need you to figure out what $1,000 to someone who gets paid $60,000 a year, like how would that feel for Elon Musk to just give, how much money would he have to give for it to hurt? You know what I mean? I guess you're right. Well, yeah, dude. And the thing is, this isn't just America, dog. This is human fucking history. Let me ask you, brother. I don't know if you know much about history, right? But think about this. Think about this. Throughout all of human history, there's always been people who were on the top and people who are on the bottom, right? And that group on the top has always been so much smaller than the group on the bottom. Do you not fucking agree? Whether it be like fucking medieval Europe or whether it be like feudal Japan or whether it be colonial America or the fucking ancient Egyptians and the Romans, like there's always been a ruling class and that is very small, and then the fucking peasants, bro. Have you seen the White House's response to the Supreme Court's ruling? No, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so what this is about is a there was, oh wait, let me get this loaded up. There was you guys know about like the 230 Venezuelans that were deported to El Salvador, right? Without due process. You guys know about that, right? Well, a couple of the people that they deported were not gang members. And the thing is, the reason why they didn't know this is because they didn't give these guys due process, which is a violation of the Constitution. But regardless, they had the Supreme Court ruled 9-0, meaning a unanimous decision. All 9 of them are ordering the Trump administration to bring back one of these dudes who's like just a father from Maryland, right? And we're going to find out what the White House has to say about this. It was only one? No, it wasn't, dude. They deported a soccer player from Real Madrid. They also deported like some gay barber from New York City. There's a couple of different, maybe it was just those 3, but it's not, here's the thing. Mermeeks, we don't know because they didn't give them any sort of due process. Mermeeks, brother. You know what due process is, right? Do you know what due process is? Mermeeks, do you know what due process is? They aren't citizens. Brother, everybody in the United States, regardless of civilian status, is entitled to due process. It's in the Constitution. It doesn't matter. Brother, Mermeeks, how do you find out if someone is a citizen? How do you find out? Let me ask you another question. Non-Americans don't have American rights. That is true. They don't have all the same American rights. But all persons within the United States are entitled to due process under the law. That's in the Constitution. Let me ask you guys something. Guys. Jack, all the people who are like very upset right now, like Jack, Mermeeks, all these people. If I accused you of being an undocumented immigrant and ICE detained you, do you believe that you should have the right to go to court and prove that you are a U.S. citizen? This is a very basic question. Check your papers. Yes, okay, that's the thing. Don't you want a chance to do that in court? Do you keep your fucking papers on you every time you go out? ICE wouldn't detain me because I'm a citizen. Dude, ICE, oh my God. ICE has detained permanent legal residents of the United States. They've already done this. Oh, Jesus. But Mermeeks, how would they even know that you're a citizen? How would you... Do you keep your driver's license on you all the time? Dude, you can get fake driver's licenses. I had one when I was a fucking 16-year-old kid. A fake ID. That's not proof of citizenship. I have papers in my house. Okay, yes, but what if they detain you on the street and take you to fucking detention center, and then you have to call a lawyer, and the lawyer's like, wait, my client is a U.S. citizen. You have no fucking right to do this. This happens. And then you have to prove that you are a U.S. citizen, and then they let you go. That is called due process. That is what due process is. That is, you are advocating for you to have less rights. $20 from the Slimy One. Eat. Thank you, Slimy One. I appreciate you. ICE wouldn't detain me for starters. How do you know? How do you know that? How do you know ICE wouldn't detain you? Oh, Jesus Christ. Because I'm a citizen. Brother, exactly! Don't you want a chance to prove in court that you are a citizen if you get detained and accused of being an undocumented immigrant? But they know beforehand. Clearly they fucking don't. The White House was ordered by the Supreme Court because they fucking deported someone who was legal. What the fuck, dudes? Dudes, come on, dudes. My dudes. Come on, dudes. It's right here. It's right fucking in front of your face, dude. One person, relax, Buttercup. Okay, so thank you. I'm right. Mistakes happen. See? Fucking told you. Oh my god, you guys are so dense. I'm done. Let's just read this. You're too dense to get through. You guys are part of that 22 to 31% of the country that are in a MAGA cult. You cannot admit when things are fucked. You just can't do it because Trump fucking did it. So, all right, regardless. Jack, if they get too annoying, put them in the corner. But let them fucking be foolish and let the people who aren't chatting look at this. Look at this shit, dude. Look at these fucking people. Okay? If they get too bad, just get rid of them. But all right, so let's watch this.
The Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return. I believe the Department of Justice just filed another brief in the lower court. I would defer you to that for any updates. But as you mentioned, President Bukele will be here at the White House on Monday to talk about the cooperation that is at an all-time high. And we very much appreciate President Bukele and El Salvador's cooperation in the repatriation of El Salvadorian gang members who the previous administration allowed to infiltrate our country.
Okay, so she just said a whole lot of nothing regarding... So what did she say? The difference between facilitate and effectuate? Is that what she fucking said?
The Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effect...
Wait, this guy said one person who was scum. Dude. They fucking deported like a father of four. Abrego Garcia, he lives in Maryland. He's protected by an immigration judge's order preventing his deportation because his family has faced gang threats in El Salvador. This is like a father of four with like a wife who's like been, like, what is wrong with you? A felon? Dude, Trump is a felon. Trump is a fucking felon. What the fuck? He's probably illegal. He's not. The Supreme Court just ruled this. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. Oh my God. You're one of those Russia. Holy shit. These people are brainwashed. These people are fucking brainwashed. What the fuck do you mean he's one of those Russia? What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What the fuck? Holy shit, dude. The American education system is absolutely motherfucking fucked. Oh, it's my boy Rudy's birthday. Happy birthday, Rudy. Okay, let's move on. The White House on Friday responded to the Supreme Court's ruling that the Trump administration must facilitate the return of a Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador rather than effectuate the return. What the fuck is the difference between facilitate and effectuate? What the fuck? Facilitate. Make an action or process easy or easier. Put into force or operation. Oh my fucking God. So they're just going to argue that because of the semantics, because of the verbiage, all they have to do is make it easier for him to come home. They don't actually have to bring him home. Are you fucking kidding me? Hey, if you ain't a communist spy, say something bad about China. They did like a genocide on the Uyghurs, which are like Muslims in China. Do you actually think I'm a Chinese spy? I'm a white dude from New York. Are you dead ass? Are you dead ass right now? Paid by them? Well, I mean, I make money on TikTok. Do you consider that to be making me like like I'm paid by the Chinese? Because TikTok is, I guess it's a Chinese app, right? And I make money off TikTok. Does that count as being a Chinese spy? Dude, these chairs suck. Like, I have to raise it up every, like, 10 minutes or some shit. No, you get that CCP money. Okay, so you're dead ass right now. You think the Chinese Communist Party sends a check to me or wires me money? You're being dead ass? You being dead ass? Okay. He's being dead ass. Brother, is anybody in here like autistic? Can anyone give me the R card for like 1 second? Anybody? No, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it. You do it. All of you who are allowed to do it, do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Now stop. No more. No more. Oh, good God. Just say lame-o, snowflakes. Hey, man, Trump's the president. What are you, a snowflake? Anyway, let's keep reading. The Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate, where we just listened to her say that. Levitt had been asked whether President Trump wants the leader of El Salvador to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Salvadorian national who was deported from the U.S., to a prison in his home country, with him when he visits the White House next week. I believe the Department of Justice just filed another brief in the lower board. I would defer you to that for any updates, Levitt said. As Levitt was briefing reporters, the federal judge overseeing the case in the lower court tore into the Justice Department at a hearing for refusing to comply with her order. For more information about the man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. That's remarkable. Deputy Assistant Attorney General Drew Ensign repeatedly indicated he had no update as to the status of Abrego Garcia or any efforts to return him, saying the administration was still assessing the Supreme Court's Thursday evening ruling in the case. Do we have it here? Isn't that the same fucking... Oh, yeah, okay. So the Supreme Court ruled it, and then the White House responded to it. And then at the same time, I want to see what the White House's response to Mahmoud Khalil. Trump has done many great things. Could you name a few for me, brother? Let's get Fox News' coverage on this. And The Hill, so we can compare the two. But we'll keep reading this for a second first. Trump lowered inflation. No, he did not. No, he did not. That is incorrect, my friend. Valenti, you support Mahmoud Khalil? Of course. He hasn't committed a crime. Unless they prove that he's fucking committed like some sort of terroristic crime, then yeah, right now I support him. You're innocent until proven guilty in this country, bro. I'm pro-Palestinian. Am I a fucking terrorist? Am I a fucking terrorist for not supporting Israel? He was a Hamas supporter? No, he wasn't. He was, dude, he planned pro-Palestinian protests. That's not supporting Hamas. That's not the same thing. Valenti, you're obviously just jealous of Trump's natural talent to fucking annihilate everything he touches.
You leftists don't understand economics or business deals. It's all above your level of comprehension. Otherwise, you'd be a conservative. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm sure you're making fucking buco bread off of buying the short during the stock crash. And then as soon as Trump lifted those tariffs, you became fucking buco rich. Welcome, Hunter 2007. You are now a loyalist. Let's get some W Hunters in the chat. Who's the president of Hamas or Palestine? I have no fucking idea. What the do you know? I don't fucking know his name. Oh. Dirt stock is rising again. Yes. Yes. Anyway. I think we've got the makings of a video here. Because we've got the Supreme Court rules that he's got to come home. We've got the White House's response. I'm going to get the definitions of... wait, which word?
The Supreme Court...
Fuck you. Shut up, Caroline. What is it? Effectuate and facilitate. Okay. Facilitate definition and effectuate. Okay. Hi, Beans. Fucking pause the video, guy. Okay, so then I want to see, can we get the Hill judge orders? So this is the Hill's response to Mahmoud Khalil. When was this written? This is written today? I'm confused. Okay. We'll go with the Hill, I think. I'm playing in the video. Anyone who supports Mahmoud Khalil is an anti-Semite. What about all the Jewish people who support fucking Palestine, dude? There's so many Jewish people who were at those pro-Palestinian protests. I could pull you clips of Jewish people from that, like Hasidic Jews. Are those people anti-Semitic? They're fucking Jews. How can, like, what the fuck? Those are fake Jewish people. Put him in the corner for 60 seconds just so he can think about how stupid stupid what he just said is. I don't want to ban him because freedom of speech, but like that is so stupid. Put him in the corner for fucking 60 seconds. That is insane. Oh, Crankbait, you're our first wolf role player. Let's get some woos in the chat. We've got someone role playing as a wolf. Oh, well, guess what, brother? I happen to be the Turbo Wolf, which means I am, in fact, in charge. You may be the alpha, but I'm the turbo. So sit your ass down and ow me. Ow! Motherfucker. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here, brother. The fuck is going on now? Somebody came in here and started throwing around that like alpha, beta, sigma, that like wolf role play. Anytime somebody uses wolf role play words, we howl back at them. Because if we're role playing as wolves, let's fucking dive in, brother. You want to role play as a wolf? Let's role play as a fucking wolf. Let's do it, pussy. I'm down. I don't give a fuck. What's your favorite book if you could only choose one?
The Bible.
No, maybe. There's an old book that I read when I was really young that like really is moving. It's called Soldier Boy. Check it out. Wolves actually act as a family. I know. Wolves don't even fucking do that shit. It's made up. It's not real. Anyway. So we've got Supreme Court rules that they got to facilitate him come home.
The Supreme Court.
White House responds. Judge allows Mahmoud Khalil to be deported. We get a little bit of this. We're going to cover Fox News' coverage as well. Like, what I find funny is Fox News doesn't even call him a terrorist or a Hamas supporter. They're so fucking bought out by AIPAC that they call him an anti-Israel protester. They're like cupping the nuts of Benjamin Netanyahu. It's fucking crazy. Oh, okay, so I need facilitate over here. Effectuate over here. And then I want to check Trump's Twitter and see if he said anything about this. Unless maybe, anybody got Truth Social? Did Trump say anything on Truth Social? We're going to pull up Elon Musk, and we're also going to pull up fucking Donald Trump. He didn't say anything about it, so Elon tweets all fucking day, every fucking day, but he's not saying diddly shit about this. Okay. And then I want to pull up some news on the SAVE Act. Okay, so the House passed the SAVE Act, but the Senate still has to pass it. I don't know if the Senate will, but I never have faith in the U.S. government to do the right thing, that is. Let me zoom out for you guys. How the House's requirement to prove U.S. citizenship could affect the ability to register to vote. The U.S. House on Thursday approved legislation requiring documentary proof of U.S. citizenship for anyone registering to vote, something voting rights groups have warned could disenfranchise millions of Americans. Hold on a second. Is a driver's license proof of citizenship? No, a standards driver's license is not proof of citizenship. Okay, well, I'm assuming a passport is a passport proof of citizenship. Yes, okay. Great, fantastic. Okay, so is anybody here a U.S. citizen that does not have a passport? Or you had a passport and you don't know where it is right now? Okay, so you guys can't vote. If this passes. If this bill that the GOP is pushing passes, you cannot vote. Just get a passport? Holy ever-living fuck. Jack, do you understand that there are tens of millions of Americans who have to choose between groceries and paying the rent each month? Do you understand that? Do you know how expensive a fucking passport is? Do you know how long the process of getting a passport is? No, and a driver's license is not proof of citizenship. You have to pay to vote now. You have to pay to vote now. No, it's far more than $100. Let's find out. A U.S. passport book for adults costs $130 for renewal, or, okay, $165 for a first-time application, including an execution fee. So at least $165. Let's see. Additional fees. $165. $35 execution fee. So what is that? That's $200. $165 plus $35 is $200, right? Yeah. Okay. So $200. Yeah. And then how long does it take to get a U.S. passport? For a standard U.S. passport application, not expedited, it typically takes 6 to 8 fucking weeks to receive your passport. Expedited processing can reduce this time to 2 to 3 weeks, but requires an extra $60 fee, and may be faster if you're traveling within 14 calendar days. Okay, so now you need to pay $200 to get a passport, and then wait 8 weeks, and then don't fucking lose your passport. Yo, just so you understand, you are moving. I need to be so fucking serious right now. For a second, look at me and ignore the trolls for a second. I studied history, specifically Germany, during the time period between World War I and World War II. If this SAVE Act passes, you need to keep your passport on you at all times if you want to feel safe from ICE. It does not matter if you are fucking white, okay? What matters is if you are publicly a dissident. If you publicly do not support this administration, keep your fucking passport on you at all times, so that if you are accused of some sort of being an undocumented immigrant or any fucking anything, you have to please keep that shit on you. Please keep that shit on you. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so SAVE Act passes, GOP voting bill that could disenfranchise millions. We're not doing democracy docket. we are going to do this, and we're going to do how much is a U.S. passport. And I think we'll split this up into a couple different videos. What do you guys think? 3 videos here or 1 long video? One long. All right, real quick, what the fuck is going on in my chat? Are you guys just like tweaking? What the fuck is happening right now? Did I miss something? People are just tweaking? Just get bread? Dude, I don't... Guys, why are you upset? Why would you expect anything more than that from a fucking MAGA brain, dude? That's dead ass the furthest that he... That's all he's... That's the most he's got. Just let it be, dude. The thing... There are some people you cannot fucking save. There are some people who are just gonna just support everything that this administration does. They don't give a fuck. You gotta let it go sometimes. You can tweak, but sometimes you gotta understand. There's no point. There's no point. There's no point. You ain't gonna get him. I'm telling you, this guy's a cultist. Trump could fuck this guy's mother. Jack, I'm talking about you, not my mom. I'm talking about Jack, just clean old Jack. Trump could fuck your mother and you would fucking thank him. You would still support him. It's fucking wild, dog. It's wild, dog. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's crazy. It's crazy. You're about to start driving? All right, Jack. Real quick. Okay, Jack, if you're about to start driving, can you like mute some of these fucking weirdos for like an hour so that I can make this goddamn video? Before you go, anyone who you think is like a fucking weirdo, mute them for an hour. It's just the one? All right, mute him for an hour. What's this woman talking about? We're talking about the news, brother. We're about to cover some of the news and record it. How are you? That's a crazy name, by the way. That's an insane name. All right, word. That's fine, Jack. Appreciate it. My father will not change his mind in supporting Trump. He's starting to scare me. I'm sorry that you have to go through that. What can I tell you other than this is what Trump has done to America? He has fucking divided families. It's unbelievable. Millions of families, brother. Millions. Anyways, I'm not recording yet, but I am going to record. All right. Go cry in a different country, you pussy. Yes, sir. I'll get my passport and I'll flee. I'll run. Because you're scaring me. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. I'm going to go to China. I'm going to live underneath the communist regime of China. I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm going to China. Anyway. I'm going to start recording now. What's up? How are you? It looks like the Trump administration just like dead ass doesn't care what the federal courts tell them to do. And like they're like arguing semantics and verbiage. And I'm being dead ass. They're saying that like the word facilitate instead of effectuate, and we're going to go into the definitions. Long story short, the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that the Trump administration has to bring back this Maryland father that they deported to the El Salvadorian prison camp. And the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 unanimous. They were like, brother, you got to bring this guy back. But because of the word facilitate, they said you got to facilitate the return of this man. The Trump administration is like, oh, okay, so we don't have to bring him back because you said facilitate and not effectuate. I'm dead ass. We're going to cover this real quick. But before we do cover it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing. Helps me immensely. If you do want to help the channel financially, because this is actual independent media, I've got no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a foreign government. So if you do want to help me out, all you got to do is become a member here for $5. Become a patron on Patreon for $5. Buy some of this dope-ass Valenti Videos merch down below, or use the 40% off discount on Ground News. Other than that, let's dive right in. So I've got the Hill here for you. We got the Supreme Court rules Trump administration must facilitate the return of mistakenly deported man. Now, real quick, if you are watching this recorded on YouTube, you probably just saw the chat pop up. We record these videos live. We're live on YouTube. Everybody in the chat say hi. If you want to make sure that you're here next time I go live, just hit that notification bell. So, Supreme Court rules Trump administration must facilitate return of mistakenly deported man. Let's watch this here.
Whole lot of movement in this case, a lot of back and forth in just the last 48 hours here, and that last minute order coming down from the Chief Justice this afternoon came just a few hours after that appellate court ruling was issued, calling the government's arguments in the case unconscionable. Chief Justice John Roberts pressing pause on a potential return to the U.S. for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That appellate court ruling upholding that deadline issued this morning, saying in part, the United States government has no legal authority to snatch a person who is lawfully present in the United States off the street and remove him from the country without due process. The government's contention otherwise, and its argument.
Hold on, without due process. So we were talking about this. You've been hearing the Trump administration and like the 22 to 30% of like his followers that are like in a cult. They've been talking about how no due process for undocumented immigrants. Now, a couple of things real quick. All persons within the United States of America are entitled to due process under the law. And the reason is because if an undocumented immigrant isn't entitled to due process, that means you are not entitled to due process. How does that work, Chris? Well, if I accuse you of being a fucking undocumented immigrant and ICE snatches you off the street and you don't happen to have your fucking passport with you, you need the right to go to court, get a lawyer, and prove that you are a fucking U.S. citizen, right? That's what due process is. If the undocumented immigrants don't have due process, that means you don't have due process, because how the fuck are you going to prove that you're not an undocumented immigrant if you don't get to go to court to prove that you... Fuck! Jesus! Shit! All right, let's keep fucking listening to this. Sorry, I just crashed out. I don't even know what happened.
Part, the United States government has no legal authority to snatch a person who is lawfully present in the United States off the street and remove him from the country without due process. The government's contention otherwise, and its argument that federal courts are powerless to intervene, are unconscionable. The Trump administration now pushing the Supreme Court to step in with an emergency appeal, arguing the courts can't force the executive branch to work with Salvadoran officials to bring Abrego Garcia home. The president maintaining his allegations about Abrego Garcia's gang member status last night aboard Air Force One.
Somebody said he's a member of MS-13.
He's not.
De Aragua. He's a member of MS-13.
He's not.
And therefore he should immediately be brought back. Well, MS-13 is just as bad as Tren de Aragua.
The appellate court ruling says Abrego Garcia has never been charged with a crime here or abroad. We also heard from Abrego Garcia's attorney.
Trump just says whatever the fuck he wants, and literally tens of millions of Americans believe it. It doesn't matter what he says. He could say, the moon is made of butter, and they'll go, holy fuck, dude, Trump discovered that the fucking moon is made of butter. Like, dude, dead ass, I swear to fucking Christ, Trump could say, and he might one day, he might say, I had a vision from God, and frankly, he told me, he said, Donald, my sweet, handsome boy, you should rule the United States of America forever. And frankly, I'm not one to challenge God. And these fucking people would praise him. Deadass, they would fucking praise him. Meanwhile, let's double check to see if I've been banned off TikTok yet, because I'm pretending to be a Trump supporter. And these fucking people, they see, oh no, we're still good. They see how fucking stupid I am, or they see how stupid I am, and they're like, go. Bro, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, the 12th Amendment, the 22nd Amendment, they're all gone. We're fucked, chat. Thank you for the $2, Joe Mackey, with the Trump is your daddy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
On the Chief Justice's order this evening, Simon Sandoval-Mosberg saying, quote, this is a temporary administrative stay. We have full confidence that the Supreme Court will resolve this matter as quickly as possible. That pause from the Chief Justice today, giving the court system a little bit more time to figure out how they would like to proceed. Outside the Supreme Court.
Take my rights, Trump daddy. Take my rights, Daddy Trump. So get this. So, I mean, we could read a little bit of this, but like you got the gist of it, okay? And so the Supreme Court rules on Thursday. They refuse to lift the judge's order. Okay, we're going to read this. Read this with me, then we're going to watch the White House's response. The Supreme Court on Thursday refused to lift a judge's order requiring the Trump administration to facilitate the return of a Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. The court's emergency ruling instructs the lower judge to clarify the language of her order, but said she acted properly in ensuring that Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case is handled, as it would have been had he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. So listen, you saw the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court rules 9-0 unanimously. They say you got to facilitate the return of this guy, bro. And watch the White House's response.
The Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return.
You hear that? Let's listen to that one more time.
Responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return. I believe the Department of Justice just filed another brief in the lower court. I would defer you to that for any updates. But as you mentioned, President Bukele will be here at the White House on Monday.
Meanwhile, they're bringing fucking Bukele, the goddamn authoritarian ruler of El Salvador, to the White House. I mean, granted, that shouldn't fucking be so crazy considering that we had Benjamin Netanyahu here the other day and he met with fucking Tim Pool. Dead ass, bro. I'm not kidding. Benjamin Netanyahu, who has an ICC warrant for his arrest for war crimes, met with Tim Pool, who was proven to have gotten money from the Russians to make anti-Ukrainian propaganda. What? For those of you driving, no, your audio didn't cut out. I'm just looking at the cameras everywhere because what the fuck?
Lower court, I would defer you to that for any updates. But as you mentioned, President Bukele will be here at the White House on Monday to talk about the cooperation that is at an all-time high. And we very much appreciate President Bukele and El Salvador's cooperation in the repatriation of El Salvadorian gang members who the previous administration allowed to infiltrate our...
Repatriation is the word that they're using instead of deportation because deportation has a really bad ring to it, and a lot of like average Americans, even the ones who voted for Trump, they don't want to say that they support mass deportation, but if you phrase it differently, this is how fucking stupid people are, bro. If you call it repatriation, then they'll, like, so many of them will support it. It's actually fucking lunatic. It's lunatic. Okay, so you saw, she said, the White House has ordered us to facilitate the return. Okay? So real quick, for those of us who, don't know the definition, facilitate, definition, to make an action or process easy or easier. Okay? So they're saying, hey, the Supreme Court said this specific word. All we got to do is make it easy or easier for this guy to come home. And she specifically said, not effectuate. Effectuate means to put into force or operation. So, the Supreme Court rules 9-0 unanimously, even fucking Brett Kavanaugh, the alcoholic Supreme... I love beer. They all rule that you have to facilitate the return of this guy. You got to get this guy home. And they start arguing semantics and say, well, they didn't say that we have to effectuate it. They say that we have to facilitate it. Come on. Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass? Bro. Now, meanwhile, this isn't the only fucking person that we're dealing with this similar situation. You guys have watched the other videos. I've talked about Mahmoud Khalil, right? It was a pro-Palestinian protester. He was one of the organizers for the Columbia University protests, right? And he was fucking kidnapped off the street by masked ICE members. Long story short, we're gonna pull up again the Hill. We love the Hill. Immigration judge allows Mahmoud Khalil deportation effort to proceed. A judge in former Columbia University activist Mahmoud Khalil's case ruled against him Friday, finding he is eligible for deportation, while giving his legal team a little less than 2 weeks to respond. Jamie Comins, an immigration judge in Louisiana, found the government's case is facially reasonable. She gave his team until April 23rd to file its response. The government had, quote, established by clear and convincing evidence that he is removable, Comins said, the Associated Press reported. Now we're going to read a pretty large quote here. I would like to quote what you said last time, and there's nothing that's more important to this court than due process rights and fundamental fairness, Khalil said at the end of the hearing. Clearly, what we witnessed today, neither of these principles were present today or in this whole process. This is exactly why the Trump administration has sent me to this court, 1,000 miles away from my family. I just hope that the urgency that you deemed fit for me are afforded to the hundreds of others who have been here without hearing for months. Dude, this motherfucker is so brave for talking his shit even while they've got his ass ready for deportation. The ruling comes after Khalil, the former lead negotiator of the pro-Palestinian encampment at Columbia University, has been in a Louisiana detention center for more than a month after he was arrested on March 8th. The fight to bring Mahmoud home is far from over, Noor Zafar, senior staff attorney with the ACLU's Immigrants' Rights Project, said in a statement, quote, we will continue undeterred to press for his release after the startling escalation of the Trump administration's war on dissent. We will fiercely defend his and others' right to speak freely about Palestine or any other issue without fear of detention or deportation. So, guys, what you're seeing right now, the most basic way to put this is this. Mahmoud Khalil, pro-Palestinian protester, anti-Israeli genocide. He's never committed a fucking crime, and the Justice Department hasn't even charged him with committing a crime. In fact, the White House came out and told the Free Press that he has not committed a crime, and that's not what they're accusing him of. What they're accusing him of is being a threat to America's national security by organizing a pro-Palestinian protest. Now, here's the thing. He's not a U.S. citizen. He was a permanent legal resident. Now, the thing is, if you are a permanent legal resident, you don't have the exact same rights. And as we can see, immigration judges can do things like deport you for, I guess, fucking protesting. But what this means is that the only reason you could protest all you want, unless you are protesting against the American Defense Department's initiatives, right? America is at least the government, is very clearly on the side of Israel. I mean, Trump fucking met with Netanyahu, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? Regardless, the American government is clearly on the side of Israel. And as they're saying in this article, if you do not support the American State Department's imperialist actions overseas, then you are guilty of dissent, right? Now, this is straight up fascist shit, okay? And at the same time, if you watched my previous video, if you haven't, go check that out, Caroline Leavitt came out and said that Trump is considering deporting U.S. citizens, right? So this is, they always talk about a slippery slope. I always talk about a slippery slope. You are seeing the slope. It started off with Trump saying we're going to deport all the illegal aliens. Now it's we're going to deport permanent legal residents because they don't support Israel. And now we're moving into Trump saying himself, I would consider deporting U.S. citizens. It's going to reach the point, at this rate, it will reach the point when Trump eventually just labels anybody who doesn't support him as anti-American, a dissident of the Führer. This is the world that you are moving into. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. It's an absolute fucking nightmare. And I also just wanted to point out one thing, same story, but Fox's coverage. Fox doesn't even call this guy like a pro-Hamas guy. They don't even call him a pro-Palestinian protester. They are so coddling the fucking nuts of Israel that they just label him as an anti-Israel protester. Now he is. He was definitely anti-Israel, but I would call that anti-genocide, right? Regardless. And now one last story that we want to talk about before I wrap this video up is the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act passed in the House. Now, it still does need to be passed by the Senate, which, who knows? I mean, like, maybe it won't pass. Granted, I don't have much faith in American politicians anymore. I know I've been a little bit quiet. Sorry about it. But I don't have much faith in American politicians. But regardless, let's pull it up from the Associated Press, which Trump has banned from the White House because he's attacking the First Amendment. How the House's requirement to prove U.S. citizenship could affect the ability to register to vote. So the House passed the SAVE Act, and the SAVE Act is saying that you have to have proof of U.S. citizenship in order to vote. And we just covered this live a little bit earlier. I know that at first glance, you're like, oh, that's fine. I have a driver's license. Your driver's license is not proof of citizenship. That's simply fact. Facts don't care about your feelings. A driver's license is not proof of citizenship. So if you watching this, whether you voted for Trump or voted for Kamala or didn't vote or voted for the Green Party, it doesn't matter. If you are a U.S. citizen and you do not have a passport, you can't vote. If this passes, if the GOP passes the SAVE Act, you will not be able to vote. And then what will you have to do? You will have to get a passport. Well, how much does a passport cost? Well, it costs $130 for an adult, right? Plus, there's additional fees, and those additional fees round up to, it's $165 for an adult, and then it rounds up to $200 because of these additional fees that have to be added on top of it. Unless you want expedited shipping, then it'll be more than $200. And then on top of that, you're going to have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to receive your passport. And I understand, I know Trump supporters don't, that there are literally tens of millions of Americans who have to choose between buying groceries or paying the fucking rent each month. I know, we're fucking struggling. The stock market's in shambles, the economy is shit, the minimum wage hasn't been fucking increased since 2009, we're in a housing crisis. I understand these things, but conservatives don't give a fuck. They just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, fucking pussy. That's what they would tell you. That's not what I would tell you. But regardless, a lot of people do not have the money nor the time to get a fucking U.S. passport. And regardless, people aren't going to give a fuck because the entire point of this is to make as few people as possible able to vote. Because conservatives know the more people that vote, the harder it is for them to win elections. That's like, the GOP has stated that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, one of the founders of the GOP, I'll try to find a video of this in the future. One of the founders of the GOP said, I don't want everybody to vote. If everybody in this nation voted, we would never win again. And they're right. They are right. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this. Associated Press. The U.S. House on Thursday approved legislation requiring documentary proof of U.S. citizenship for anyone registering to vote, something voting rights groups have warned could disenfranchise millions of Americans. The requirement has been a top election-related priority for President Donald Trump and House Republicans, who argued it's needed to eliminate instances of non-citizen voting, which is already rare and, as numerous states' cases have shown, is typically a mistake rather than part of a coordinated attempt to subvert an election. Never once in American history has voter fraud even minusculely, whatever the fuck the word is, even slightly affected a election. Because you need to register to vote, you need to have like a match signature, you need to have an address on file. And plus, if an undocumented immigrant tried to vote, that would be like shining a fucking light on you when the government already doesn't want you here. It's fucking ridiculous. Even the Heritage Foundation, who I believe wrote Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation only found something like 22 cases of voter fraud since the year 2000 to 2024. So, don't bring it up with me, bring it up with them. Anyways. The requirement has been, we already got there, it's typically a mistake rather than part of a coordinated attempt to subvert an election. It's already been illegal under federal law for people who are not U.S. citizens to cast ballots and can lead to felony charges and deportation. Exactly. If a fucking undocumented immigrant tried to do this, they would get deported. The bill, known as the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or the SAVE Act, now heads to the Senate, where its fate is uncertain because Republicans don't have a large enough majority to avoid a filibuster. Here's a look at the key issues in the debate over proof of citizenship requirement for voting. So, who would be affected if the bill becomes law? If it eventually becomes law, the SAVE Act would take effect immediately and apply to all voter registration applications. This has no impact on individuals who are currently registered to vote. Voting rights groups say that there is more to the story. The law would affect voters who already registered if they move, change their name, or otherwise need to update their registration. That was acknowledged to some extent by the bill's author, Republican Representative Chip Roy of Texas, during a recent hearing on the legislation. The idea here is that for individuals to be able to continue to vote if they are registered, Roy said. If they have an intervening event, or if the states want to clean the rolls, people would come forward to register to demonstrate their citizenship, so we could convert our system over some reasonable time to a citizenship-based registration system. Now, here we go. Oh, you guys hear my tummy rumbling? What documents would be required to register? The SAVE Act compels states to reject any voter registration application in which the applicant has not presented documentary proof of United States citizenship. Now, this is important, guys. Pay attention. Texan here, your accent is terrible. Fuck you. So, among the acceptable documents for demonstrating proof of citizenship are a real ID compliant driver's license that indicates the applicant is a citizen. So I don't know what the fuck a real ID is. I have a driver's license. I don't know if all of those are considered real IDs. A valid U.S. passport. Many people don't have those. A military ID. Obviously, anybody who's not fucking in the military doesn't have a military ID. A valid government-issued photo ID that shows the applicant's birthplace was in the U.S. Okay, so that's, again, driver's licenses don't have your fucking birthplace. A valid government-issued photo ID presented with a document such as a certified birth certificate that shows the birthplace was in the U.S. Here's the thing. If you're a married woman and you took your husband's last name, your name is different than the name on the birth certificate, so that will not count because it has to match. So Republicans are trying desperately to make everything harder and harder and harder to vote because they want less and less people to vote. We all have birth certificates, yes, but women who get married don't have matching names. What if my driver's license doesn't list my birthplace or indicate that I'm a U.S. citizen? In general, driver's licenses do not list a birthplace or indicate that the card holder is a citizen, even many that are Real ID compliant. Yeah, okay, so you guys see the point. The whole point is to make it harder and harder to vote so that it's easier for the Republicans to win in midterm elections and then possibly Trump's 2028 campaign. It's absolutely absurd. So we covered a lot in today's video. If you are watching this live, you stay here. We're going to keep this going for a little bit. If you watch this pre-recorded, thank you so much for tuning into the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. If you do want to help me financially, because this is real independent media, I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a government. If you do want to help me out, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You can become a patron on Patreon for $5. You'll get access to those Patreon-only videos. You could become a member here on YouTube for $5. Get early access to a whole bunch of videos. You could also use the 40% off discount for the Vantage subscription on Ground News down in the description below. And you can buy some of this dope-ass Valenti Videos merch down below. So anyway, if you're here in the live, you stay. If you are not, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you tomorrow for Rabbit Hole. Saturday is Rabbit Hole, and we've got a good rabbit hole for you. Have a good one. Okay. That was a good video. Is taking married women's right to vote away? Well, you would have to update your I guess you would have to get a new birth certificate. I don't even know how the fuck it would work. I don't even know how it would work, because like if your current ID has to match your birth certificate and you're a woman who took your husband's last name, that just doesn't match. I don't even know what the fuck you do in that situation. I don't know what you do. Crazy. Chris for president 2028. I won't be old enough to run for president in 2028. You got to be 35. I'm 27 right now. My birthday's October 6th. What year will I be old enough to run for president? That's 8 years from now. It's 2025. So what is that? 2032. But there isn't an election in... Oh, there is an election in 2032. Oh, shit. I better start now, huh? Right? I better start now. Are you girl or man? Man. Are you meat or vegetable? What are we talking about? I'm going to run for president in 2032. Clearly, you don't need any fucking qualifications. I mean, this guy was a fucking reality TV star, so fuck it, I'll throw my hat in the ring. Looks like girl. Are you calling me pretty? Trump is the best president we've ever had. Darko, could you tell me one thing that Trump has done that has made your life better? You think you're pretty? I think I'm pretty. You think you're pretty? Gurpreet Singh, do you think you're pretty? Gurpreet? I can name 15 things he did better than Obama. I don't want you to list off 15 things. Just tell me one thing Trump has done this term that made your life better. Just one fucking thing. Trump improved to the food programs. What are you talking about? I'll look it up. What do you want me to look up? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Alley Cat, $2. Chris for president. Everything's computer. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Oh no. My pretty little pink vape. Trump won't let men into women's sports. Women's, not woman's. Women's sports. Yeah, man, huge problem, bro. Men were just fucking competing in women's sports across the goddamn board, man. There's fucking tens of millions of men just competing in women's sports. Thank God he's focused on the driving issues. Wait, are you vaping? I am indeed vaping. I am addicted to nicotine. Yes. I know I gotta quit. I'm most likely going to die in a fucking war in Ukraine. Sorry, not in Ukraine, in Iran or Yemen or some shit. So, who gives a shit? Says the guy, long woman's hair and pink vape. Yeah, I know, I know. I got long hair. This ain't the 70s, Jack. What are you gonna do, call me a hippie? Go ahead, call me a hippie. Long hair's great. Gives your dad something to hold on to. Oh, Jesus. Hey, yo! Also, we haven't done the market recap this stream. You guys want to do a market recap? Maybe some of you know and I don't. All right. Alrighty, boys. We're doing all right. We'll get back to before Liberation Day one of these days. One of these days, we'll make our way. All right, so for the day, the Dow is up 1.56. For the day, the NASDAQ is up 2.06. For the day, the S&P is up 1.81. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is slowly undoing the massive fuck-up that he did on April 2nd. But who knows? Maybe this fucking trade war with China will make everything go back down as he increases the price of Chinese goods to 145%. Meanwhile, we've got fucking billionaires like Kevin O'Leary going on the news saying, I think Donald Trump should increase the tariffs of Chinese goods to 400%. Motherfucker, what? Motherfucker, you what? He's doing it on purpose. I know he's doing it on purpose. It's called market manipulation. That's what he's doing. He's purposefully crashing the U.S. economy so he and the rest of his billionaire buddies can sail through and gobble up all of the stocks while the stocks are nice and cheap and then artificially inflated by raising the price of goods for the American consumer and using that overflow of cash to fund his fucking tax policy, his $3 trillion tax policy that wants to lower the taxes of the rich to a whopping 0%, my guy. You unironically support the 1% paying 0% taxes. What the fuck? Are you out of your mind? What? Yeah, he goes, let's go Trump, because I just fucking overloaded his brain. Oh my god, it's fucking, he's like, let's go Trump! Oh, sweet fucking Jesus. Yeah, we just made a video, Cariso. I just made a video on that.
All hail Lord Trump.
Tex, please tell me you're trolling. Please tell me you're trolling. All right, let's make a thumbnail, folks. Let's make a thumbnail. So that was a long one. We're going to want Mahmoud Khalil. No. We're going to do Trump, and it's going to say deport everyone. Okay, let's make a thumbnail, folks. We got to get Trump giving a speech angry. Trump angry speech. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Ah, fuck, it's copyrighted. Shit. That's a good one. All right, I'm going to save this real quick. I got to make a new folder. So we are on... This is going to be Valentivod episode 83. We're going to lose frames while I do this, just so you know. All right, and then we're going to want Mahmoud Khalil. We're going to want... What's his fucking name? Garcia? Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Ooh, we're going to want the Supreme Court in the background because they're just defying the Supreme Court. Wait. That's fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg. What the fuck? Okay. We're good. Now I'm going to upload all these and we're going to make a thumbnail. Episode 83. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. All right. Jack, stop. Okay, so we're going to want the Supreme Court as the background. Then we're going to want Trump yelling. Much bigger than the Supreme Court. Not that big. Mahmoud Khalil, he's going to have to go on something. We're going to have to get something to put them on. Palestinian flag, maybe. I need these guys to be a bit smaller. And then this guy is from El Salvador, I believe, right? This guy was from El Salvador. About the same size. Make it a bit smaller so it fits. And then we need text. There we go. What do we think about that? Okay. That'll do. All right, what do we think about that? Chef's kiss? Chef's kiss? We good? What if I move this down here? Is it better there or is it better up top? Down or up? All right, and now red or green? Do a poll or let me know. I'll just check comments. Red or green? There's green. There's red. Red. Red, red, red it is. Red it is. Okay, let me save this. Oh, we even got Jack in on it. Not my mod, but other Jack. He was having fun.
You know your place in this world.
Jack, how old are you, dude? How old are you? We're going to lose frames while I do this. You're 22, Jack? Damn, brother. I wasn't this fucking hateful at 22. Where you from? Where you from, Jack? Texas. All right. Nice. I've never been to Texas. I want to go. I do want to go one day. All right. Now we got to come up with a title, guys. Texas. Hold on. Let me move this because I can't see the chat now. Texas is a real state, not like communist New York. It used to be a good city. You think New York is a communist city? You think we've what? Destroyed the 1%, reallocated the wealth evenly, built communes, and also, New York is responsible. I think New York and California are responsible for like 75% of the United States' like GDP, right? And then Texas, you guys come in too. You guys are very important, right? I believe it's California, New York, and Texas. We kind of provide like everything in a sense. It was run over by communists like you. First of all, I'm not a communist, but I think you know this. I think you just like use the word communist as like a buzzword for like just a non-Trump supporter. I don't think you know what communism is, to be honest, brother. I really don't. Anyway, real quick, let's come up with a title for this video. Trump disobeys the Supreme Court, ignores the Supreme Court. What do we want?
Texas is MAGA land, red and true.
So, Trump disobeys the courts. Trump disobeys the Supreme Court, or Trump ignores the Supreme Court? Which one hits harder? Defies. Nice. Trump regime defies the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's 9-0 decision. Now, he just defies the Supreme Court. And then, exclamation point. So we've got Trump regime defies the Supreme Court. And then we're going to want another thing at the end there. Let's see if we got any violations for the video. No issues were found with the video. We're good. Okay. Trump regime defies the Supreme Court. Now we need something right above it. And I was thinking the Supreme Court defies Trump. Dude, the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. They can order Trump's rulings null and void. Unless you just do... Have you reached the point where you just want Trump to be king? Where the Supreme Court doesn't exist? Have you reached that point? Have you genuinely reached that point? Welcome to Trump's kingdom. Texas, do you? Oh, well, I see your Make America Great Again is your profile picture. Texas, do you seriously want like Trump to be king until like his last day? Is that like actually what you want, or are you trolling? All right, so I think that guy is trolling, the hero guy. But I don't like his name, so Jack, just ban him. Second to last day. So Texas, do you just don't support like the Constitution or democracy anymore? You don't want a democracy. You don't want the rule. You want a monarchy. Is that what you want? The Supreme Court is run by fascist communists. Brett Kavanaugh is a fascist guy. The guy who was like, I like beer. I have always loved beer. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. We live in a constitutional republic is a form of a democracy. There's a reason why we have a popular vote, which would be the representative democracy, and then we have elected officials within the, you know what it is, the Electoral College, right? Those are not mutually exclusive ideals. We are both a constitutional republic and a democracy because that's a form of a democracy. But regardless, even let's just say hypothetically you are correct and this is a constitutional republic. Would you like to get rid of that constitutional republic so that Trump can be the king? Would you like to replace it with a monarchy? I know, Jack. See, listen, Jack, you're like, no, because you seemingly like, I know you like Donald Trump, but like you at least like America more. Like America is above Trump, right? Genuinely, the guys, like for MAGA people, for the trolls here, like for 1 second, America is still above Trump in your mind, right? He doesn't get to just like circumvent America herself, right? Or have you completely forsaken America? Texas says, no, America fought a war, so we were never a king. Okay, thank God, dude. Because, like, dude, the thing is, you can support Trump. I'm not going to fucking shit on you I will shit on you for supporting Trump. But supporting replacing democracy with monarchy, brother, we had a revolution over this. That's traitorous. That's insane. That's insane. Can we at least fucking agree that's insane? I need to see that red hat as the profile picture say, I agree. That's insane. Like, please. Otherwise, like, what the fuck? What am I even doing then? What's the point in trying to debate or talk or converse or even interact with somebody like you because you don't want this nation to exist anymore? I mean, fuck, dude. I don't want a king. I don't want to live in a kingdom. Traitorous are the people who support historic enemies like Mahmoud Khalil. How is Mahmoud Khalil a historic enemy? Who are you trying to relate him to? Well, a dictator is different. Well, would you support having a dictator? Would you support having a dictator? Or letting Trump be a dictator? I have a question about what you just said, Texas, because you said, Joe, you said, unless an amendment happens in the Constitution, I do oppose Trump for a third term. So hear me out, Texas. Amending the Constitution is important. We need to be able to amend the Constitution. Do you agree there? Like, if you have valid reasoning and you can explain it and the Supreme Court agrees, because this is how we've done it before, you should be able to amend the Constitution. Yes, this is very vital to the survival of the nation. Yes? Yes? You need to be able to amend the Constitution. So, my question, my follow-up question is fairly simple. Do you believe that Donald Trump getting the chance to run a third term is a valid enough reason to amend the 22nd Amendment? That's the whole reasoning. Donald Trump, because it's not like a guarantee he would win, but Donald Trump being given the opportunity to run a third term is enough reasoning for you to amend the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution? By that reason itself, no. So then why would you support amending the 22nd Amendment? What other reasoning could you possibly have to support amending the 22nd Amendment? What? Obama versus Trump will go crazy. Ben, you didn't read. I read it. I'll pull it up for you. It explicitly says that Obama cannot run a third term. It says out of all of the living presidents, former and current, only Donald Trump would be allowed to run for a third term, except one other person would be allowed to, Joe fucking Biden. That's it. Emily goes, gay. That seems too fascist for me. I'll pull it up. I know it's so fascist that, like, you might not believe me, but I could pull it up for you if you'd like to see that actual proposition. Dude, I just caught a glimpse of myself. I'm so pretty. Like, I know I'm handsome as a dude because, like, I'm big and strong, but I'm pretty. Like, no shit. I have so many people accusing me of being trans. You guys are always like, there's a whole bunch of MAGA people who are like, you look like a tranny. Brother, like, I'm so sexy. That's crazy. I'm pretty like a girl. And I'm handsome like a boy. The fuck out of here. You wish you could hit both sides. I hit both sides. I hit both sides, brother. Everybody finds me pretty. Anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me? You like that one? That's a good one. You are sexy because you have Jesus haircut, the most handsome. Mario fucking is a dedicated hate watcher, and he just called me sexy. Thank you, Mario. Mario, I've seen you here many a time, and you fucking say some whack-ass shit, and you just called me sexy? That's unhinged. That's unhinged. You're a trans person at heart. You are a weird guy or girl. No, dude, I'm not trans. I'm very straight. I have a girlfriend. I fuck. I'm straight, dude. I just have long hair. Like, you do know that, like, let me ask you something. Do you think long hair on guys make them look feminine? Is that what you think? Because I want to pull up some long-haired dudes from history. Real quick. You think long hair makes guys look feminine? Hold on. Fucking thing. All right, hold on. So, like, when you watched 300, all of, like, these guys, like this guy, like, this is Michael Fassbender. He's got long hair. Or, like, these Spartans. Or, you know, like, just, you're telling me that these guys, like, Ragnar Lothbrok looks feminine to you simply because he has long hair? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense, dude. Your entire fucking, like, weird-ass long hair hatred belief system, it's built upon nothing. It makes no sense. But we didn't finish the title, guys. Trump regime defies the Supreme Court 9-0 isn't enough to stop him. The Valenti VOD, episode 83. Copy that. And now we need a little bit down here. We need, for the description, just a quick basis. Trump has defied a 9-0 Supreme Court ruling regarding the people the man deported wrongfully. Also, Mahmoud Khalil's deportation process is moving forward, unfortunately. Oh, and the SAVE Act passed in the House, so make sure you got a passport. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to give you attention in a second. Especially my haters. Let me just fucking post this. The Valenti VOD. Monetization. Yes. Add an end screen. Yes. Trump regime defies the Supreme Court. 9-0 isn't enough to stop him. Publish. There we go. She's up. She's up. Good to go. Does this guy ever back up his bullshit? Yes, I do, Daniel. Is there some claim that I've made that you would like me to back up? Because that's kind of the whole point. That's kind of the whole reason I have like a share screen function, is to kind of like back up my bullshit. Hail Trump is a sign of respect for the leader. Jack, we don't hail presidents. You hail the Führer in Nazi Germany. You hail the king in a monarchy. You hail the emperor in an empire. You hail the dictator in an authoritarian regime. You don't hail a fucking president, dude. Jesus Christ. We got a problem with the video. What's the problem? There we go. Can you back up your you being straight claim? Because damn, man, you're good. Get the fuck out of here. They did it in Rome. Yeah, dude, Rome was a fucking dictatorship. It was a fucking empire. We're not Rome. They didn't have presidents in Rome. Do you think Caesar was the president of Rome? He was the emperor. He was the fucking emperor. Jesus fuck. Rome was also very gay. Yeah, dude. The whole ancient world was super fucking gay because nobody had an understanding of gay and straight. It was just a hole's a fucking hole, dude. The Spartans were gay. The Romans were gay. The Greeks were gay. Fucking everybody. The Egyptians were gay. There was no word. They were just like, what do you mean? I'm just gonna fuck. That's just what history is, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, Lord Almighty. The founding fathers liked Rome and they modeled the U.S. on it. They liked the idea of the Roman Forum. They liked the democracy aspect of it. Not the fucking empire aspect of it. Not the having a fucking emperor. That's not having a permanent Caesar. That's not what the fucking... Holy shit. You know what else they liked about it? The architecture. A lot of the American symbolism and buildings and national buildings, they're all designed after Roman architecture. But motherfucker, dude, we did not want to have an emperor. Proper Christians were not gay. Dude, the Catholic Church is notorious for harboring gay pedophiles within the fucking Vatican. And then scattering them across the goddamn nation every time they get caught instead of fucking holding them accountable. Catholic and Christians are not... What the fuck do you mean? What is a Catholic? What is a Catholic? I said proper Christians. You do understand that Christianity has multiple branches, right? And Catholicism is one of the branches of Christianity. So is evangelicism, so is Protestantism, so is Episcopalian. These are branches of Christianity. Oh my God, oh my God. Dude, we're so fucked. These religious zealots are fucking... oh my God. We're so fucked. We're so fucked, dude. These motherfuckers can barely read, bro. These motherfuckers can barely read.
Winnie, hi. You're pretty.
Rome had a dictator for a time to save Rome like we do, like we need now. Hey, motherfucker, is Rome still standing? You think a dictator saved Rome? And they were all dictators. All the fucking emperors were dictators. That's what a fucking empire is, dude. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. America is falling and America is doomed. These Christian nationalists are gonna bring about the end. They're calling on their God and then they're calling on the sand to invade Yemen, Gaza, and the rest of the land. The Holy Land is theirs, they're gonna fucking claim it. The Holy Land is there, they're gonna fucking claim it. These sick fucking freaks and their sick fucking plans. They're getting on their planes and they're getting on their tanks. They're rolling up to Gaza, gonna mow it down. We're fucked. We're so fucked. What did Jack say? The Roman Empire is still around. The Catholic Church is it. Do you think the Romans praised Jesus Christ? Do you think that? Oh my God, this kid thinks the Holy Roman Empire and the Roman Empire were the same thing. Is that what you think? Oh my God. You think the Romans switched to Christianity? Oh my God, dude, we're fucked. Yes, it's history. Brother, do you know when Rome collapsed? Do you know when Rome collapsed? Because, yes, the Roman Empire swapped to Christianity, but do you know when? Do you know when the Roman Empire collapsed? What year? No, not 300 AD. 476 AD. Okay? Do you know what year the Romans swapped to Christianity? 312 AD. The Romans lasted nearly 1,500 fucking years, and their collapse began as soon as they adopted Christianity. Practically immediately. Oh. Are you going to advocate for the United States to force Christianity upon its citizens? Do you believe that the United States should force its citizens to practice Christianity? Aren't you against empires, idiot? Yes. Oh, peace out, matcha stays faded. Have a good one. Everyone should have a choice. Fantastic. I love that. I'm gonna go. I gotta feed these guys. I gotta fucking eat myself. I gotta relax, play some video games, do my shit. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. If you do want to support the channel financially, you could become a patron on Patreon for $5. You could become a member on YouTube for $5. You could buy some of this dope-ass Valenti Videos merch down below. You could use the 40% off discount for the Vantage subscription on Ground News in the description down below, or you could just straight up donate cash to me through Super Chats or donations while I'm live. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow for Rabbit Hole. We're going to be talking about how Ronald Reagan began the privatization of American companies and shipping them overseas, and how the Conservative Party has always been more focused on profit rather than what is best for the American people. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.